Love about pot is it allows me to relax. It allows me to enjoy myself. I feel like I'm making something. And then I sit here and I look at my thinking and I make sure that my thinking fills me up and doesn't tear me down.
That's so beautiful. It's like you get to access like your creative side, but also this meditation that you just
Right,
literally get to let your brain just roll for a little bit and sort of distantly observe your thoughts.
right.
That is the power of cannabis, honestly.
And that's what's fun about this is, you tell somebody stoned to close their eyes and let thoughts drift through and they'll fall asleep. But this, you've got a level of consciousness that's maintained so you can separate the brain.
Yeah.
You can see the acting and doing, and you can start looking at the emotional
Mm.
and the thought, the combining of this. If my body's operating this, who's operating this thinking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it really puts you in a predicament for introspection.
Yes, I meditate every morning and I use cannabis to help me meditate. It's just like a spiritual tool that sort of helps you connect. Do you find that when you're doing these readings or these sort of witch tips, it's at 420, does that cannabis sort of help you access that creativity, that deeper spiritual feeling?
Honey, I access that creative spiritual feeling when I wake up. I take a puff and then I go on about my day. And then I take a puff at lunchtime and I go on about my day. I don't smoke at any one time a lot. I take a little bit and I put it away.
Yeah.
And that's how I keep I like being productive. I like being an artist. I like doing my work. I'm one of those girls that says, I've done a good job at the end of the day and I look forward to my day, so I plan it.
Mm.
I'm not somebody who sits around and gets stoned.
Hmm.
And I show up at 420 because I got your attention. There's more to this world than just getting stoned. Use it as a device to learn and grow. That's why I have this philosophical conflict about dabbing
Oh, yeah.
because losing your mind behind pot is not the answer.
Mm.
So I think I've dabbed at parties, and that's a fun place to do it. When you're with other people and it enlivens you. And if there's a lot of stimulation around you, you stay up and active and vital. But getting so stoned, you're a couch potato. I've never done that. Yeah, I got stoned at 14, started getting stoned. I would have never gotten through college if
Yeah.
I was a couch potato.
All right.
And I loved life even then. I love studying. I love visioning what's going to happen. That's where pot takes me.
Yeah, it's like it takes you deeper into mindfulness and it helps you be more present with the world that you're in, I guess. Unless you overuse it
And
like you're talking about.
and the other thing I want to say is cannabis users need to brush their teeth because cannabis causes dry mouth
Hmm.
and dry mouth leads to tooth decay.
Oh, that is a very
And
good tip. Yes.
I know. And if I'm going to live it, I'm going to talk about it because no matter how much I brush my teeth, I still lose them. They say that I had trouble with my lower teeth because I had radiation on my chest. And in the time sequence, 20 years after, I lose my lower teeth,
Mm.
but then my front tooth fell out. And and I go have my teeth cleaned all the time and I'm really on it. But cannabis does cause a problem. It causes tooth decay. And with all of the work, just be consistent about brushing your teeth.
Hey, that is one of those tips that I have actually never heard before in the entire cannabis community. That is a really good tip. Hmm.
Let me be the first.
So you're still on this path. Obviously, you really care about the message that you're trying to get across, living a
I
good,
love
purposeful
people.
life, right? Like living well,
Right.
living presently, caring and being good, and that you can manifest that goodness that is innately in everybody, and that's your
And
belief. And
everybody. If you want it, you have to be it.
you have to think it, right? Because everything starts with your thoughts, and your thoughts create your actions.
Your thinking, your emotions create your being.
Mm,
So if I want to be it, I have to think it and feel it. So every day, I get excited about the truths that I know in this world and what I want to share.
yeah.
I have seen human beings be the most magnificent they can be. Imagine waking up one day your whole body worked, and the next day half of it quit working.
Mm.
And I saw people heal and grow and be the best that they could be in that situation. How could I not say anything is possible?
Yeah, yeah, it's true. You're getting into your 70s. This is a lot of work to do social media all the time, but obviously this is just a message that you feel really driven to keep getting out every day.
Yeah, because you can recreate yourself into the 70s. So there's no reason to think that you're limited in any way except that download you got in your head that keeps you stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Look at your thinking, look at the way you talk to yourself. I always tell people walk 20 minutes every day, whether you want to or not, and look at your thinking. Are you thinking about what happened 2 days ago? Are you thinking about what's going to happen? That's depression and anxiety right there. You're outside, you're in nature. Look at the trees, look
Yeah,
at the bees, be part of what we're naturally connected to. And then look at your thinking.
yeah.
What are you telling yourself? Be mindful of the way that you talk to yourself
Yeah, that's
and
something that
know
I tell
that,
myself all the time is my inner monologue has to be my best friend.
right. When I got that is this saying the other day that I made a post about, which is the way you talk to your children are the way they are going to talk to themselves.
Oh, yes, that
So
is so
most of
true.
our downloads come from our parents,
Yeah.
and you have to interrupt that. My mother told me I was beautiful every day, and she talked about how ugly she was.
Mm.
I just had to change that whole script because my mother was the most beautiful thing in this world
Hmm.
to me. So I just said, well, she doesn't get that part of her, you know?
Yeah.
And I had to change that about myself because my father was magnificently handsome and I was part of him too. So how do you balance that out? By inner journey, by understanding who you are.
Yeah. Is this a lot of the kinds of questions that your followers want to know? Like, how do I change my thinking? How do I make sure that I edit my internal monologue?
Right. And it's not so much my followers, it's the people who come to me for tarot.
Mm.
And I interpret the tarot from the perspective of a spiritual mind treatment, putting positive, present perspective into the mind and allowing them to feel that goodness. And then I just release it and let it go.
Wow. I've actually never experienced tarot and never really knew very much about it. I just knew that somebody turned over a card and explained to you what the card meant, but I don't really understand. Can we do a reading? Is that possible? Are we allowed to do a card
Yeah,
flip?
I have my card share.
Oh my gosh, how
So
exciting.
tarot is, people think it's going to tell you your future. It's not going to tell you your future.
Yeah.
What I find beautiful in it is that it's reflective. The reading will be reflective of what we're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's weird. I'll pull three cards that I can tie what we're talking about together.
Okay. Oh, let's do it. The shuffling has
So I
begun.
shuffle once and I pull 3 cards.
Okay.
And this is about, it's the Prince Charming card.
Ooh.
He's spreading the message. He's the knight of the realm, but he's spreading the message about our emotional selves and that he's in control. We all have control of our emotional state.
Mm.
Now, we can't really control what's going on around us, but we can learn to balance it. This is a guy that is holding 2 coins, and these coins are about the physical realm. It's about work or play or home or business. We can't control it, but we can balance it and we can learn to play with it. This guy is spreading the word how important our emotions are. Now let's see this last one.
Gotcha.
This one says that you can create anything that you want, that you can manifest yourself through your intentions. Well, the way I would, by knowing love, by balancing your outside world and growing to be the best person that you can be. And you have a lot of power. You're on that path. You're moving forward. Now, what I just said relates to me too. It's
Yeah.
a very positive reading. You know why?
Why?
Because it reflects back what we put out there.
Of
And
course.
and this is that growth process. Love is the answer. The only thing real in this world is love and loving relationships. We have to learn to balance our self-love and our love on the outside, and we can make it happen. It's our spiritual journey.
That is so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Shelley, and thank you for taking the time to talk to me today. You can check out the full profile that we have done on Shelley Johnson, A Good Witch, in the full issue of Different Leaf, the magazine, on newsstands and online at differentleaf.com as of mid-October. Miss Shelley, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you again.
Thank you.
A big thanks to this week's guest, Shelley Johnson, on social media at A Good Witch Official. Next week, we'll be talking to Eddie Brennan, CEO of Beacon Skiff Apple Orchards in upstate New York, about how and why the century-old family-run cider farm behind 1911 Ciders is now incorporating cannabis and CBD into their drinks.
We have a full flavored seltzer that we do. So we do a pineapple mango, a black cherry. These are actually flavors that we really developed in the hard cider business and brought them over to our cannabis business. And then we actually just rolled out a honey crisp fresh cider, which really ties our 2 businesses together. And we literally pick those apples from specific blocks on our farm. We press them and then bring the cider over to our cannabis facility and infuse it. So it's literally like just drinking fresh cider infused with cannabis.
Subscribe so you don't miss that episode, and follow us on social media at Different Leaf, and I'm on social media at Brit the British. Make sure you've got your full issue of Different Leaf the magazine, which is out now at differentleaf.com and on thousands of newsstands across the country. You can find your local retailer or order your copy at differentleaf.com.